Llangollen Canal, North Wales. The Pavilion to Horseshoe Falls. I've come west with my husband Tim to North Wales. This trip's a little different. It's kind of there and back again, but also not. Let me explain. This is an 11-mile section of the Llangollen Canal. In this film, you'll see us go there and back again. This will be part 1, and there'll be another film to follow, and in there you'll see us do the rest of the journey.
In case any of you are wondering, this isn't a paid promotion and we are not affiliated with TNR Outdoors.
So a bit of an odd story. We did this trail slightly back to front. The trip is 11 miles of navigable water through a canal World Heritage Site of outstanding beauty. We wanted to start at the Horseshoe Falls and go to Chirk, but we couldn't. We had a mishap with our canoe, which meant that we needed to hire one. So we contacted TNR Outdoors, who supplied us with a great Venture Ranger, or as I call it, my dream boat. TNR Outdoors were only able to meet us at a certain point on this trail for easy access, which means that we couldn't actually start at the Horseshoe Falls. It meant that we would do 9 miles of this section, from where we started to Chirk. When we met Richard, who set us up with the canoes, he told us that the section upstream was well worth doing because it was actually the only canal in the world that is topped up purely by a river, the River Dee. After hearing this, I knew we would have to paddle the entire section, which is 11 miles. There wasn't a question for me. I couldn't wait to get on the water. So what we're going to do in this film is show you the upper section, and you'll have to tune in to our other films to see the lower section, which covers 2 countries, 2 tunnels and 2 aqueducts. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Did we ever decide where we're staying tonight?
No, it depends whether we're doing
We weren't expecting to see a bridge on the upper section, and when I saw it, I pointed it out to Claire.
That was unexpected.
Yeah.
The canals hold many surprises, and big carp has been caught there, as well as good sized roach, perch, bream, tench and pike.
So it's very reflective.
Yeah.
It was a pleasant day, some grey clouds overhead and some sun, but the rain held off. One thing that I found easy about hiring a canoe from TNR Outdoors was that they met us, put the boat on the water, had a chat, and then came back when we finished. There really wasn't any time pressure. It was a decent experience, not bad for the money, and I would use them again. I'll put the price and stuff in the description below. Also, I'll give you a few more details in the next part, and a top tip.
Bin full of food.
Yeah, can you tell this is river? It's so low. We'll have to be careful, I think, Tim.
Yeah.
No, not
Can I? had to push along.
This upper section was paddled by me and my husband Tim.
Now is that what
hard.
we actually might be there.
Our friends caught up to us by walking this section of the trail. They joined us later in a canoe. I blame them for nearly making us crash here though.
Paddle. Right, at least the way back.
That's nice. Anyway, back to talking about why this trail. Well, I came across it when researching the prettiest canoe paddles in the UK, and I must admit, I must have spent hours poring over websites and maps, but that's all part of the fun, isn't it? When I saw this 11-mile stretch through a Canal World Heritage Site, I just wanted to paddle it. The fact that you paddle through Wales and England was a bonus. And when I read more about the tunnels, I started to get nervously excited. The truth is, I hadn't actually done tunnels before. And then there's the aqueducts. Well, I'm going to talk more about those in our other film, but what I will say is that it was a pretty epic paddle over the highest aqueduct in the world and the longest aqueduct in Britain.
Light it rock out.
Yeah, because it's so foreign to me, all the other trips that we've done.
Because we live in the fens, there's no mountains or rocks.
The water was so clear that you could see all of the activity going on beneath the surface, which I love. It was also quite shallow, which is always comforting for somebody like me, who makes a choice to try and overcome their fear every time I go out on the water. One day, I suppose my fear will lessen considerably, but for now, I keep working on my fear, and I have seen my progress grow massively over time. The thing I like about this canal is the towpath that runs along it. Well, why you ask? It means that if I fall in, I know exactly where I'm going to go to get out again.
Just got to get you to not on the ground. Yeah.
It would be great to get our dogs out in the canoe, but that'll have to wait for a bit to prepare them. They're only little.
I'm so glad I did the upper section, because when I spoke to some people when I was doing my research, they said that we didn't need to worry about doing it because it was just some trees. It was so much more than that. Picture this: huge slate rock, cold to the touch, with certain sections just dripping with water that almost was like a mini waterfall. Paddle a little bit further and you see cosy stone bridges that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. A little bit further still, and you start to enter jungle territory. I'm not kidding. When I say some parts were narrow and fast,
Because it's
I
really
mean
hard
it.
to park
At
here on
times,
my
we
own.
thought we were going to tip out.
This is the hotel. I was to say something we need to figure out. Last one.
It was a pleasure to paddle this section. I would urge anybody to do it. No motorboats are allowed on the upper section. Pure bliss.
I had nothing to paddle in. Really shallow. Yeah, it's because it's so hard.
This was the fastest flow that we've been in so far. Sometimes it was a tough paddle.
It's not the hardest flow, but the cushion is. Yeah. This is usually we're going to see them. I'm going to turn left. Look back. Okay, here. Okay, well we did it.
I hope you guys really liked this video. If you do, drop us a comment. Feel free to ask us any questions. We'll always try to reply where we can. Give us a thumbs up if you like it.
This is all flow. Just making sure we're straight.
I'll have to that we did it.
Good.
Huh?
That's all on camera then. Put your paddle up there and cheer. Huh?
Huh?
Put your paddle up and cheer. Yeah!
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is fighting it. So
Oh wait. My bad. Sam?
What you can't see in this film, on this section, is my toilet roll. Sitting on my airbag on the bow. Funny story. At the time I didn't know. I actually had COVID-19. I thought it was just a cold at the time. So I have some funny pictures where I look like death with my toilet roll in the bow with me.
Scenery is lovely.
like it when it's like nice and calm.
We did a mixture of staying in an Airbnb and camping. Camping in October, in high winds and rain, yes. Sadly we didn't capture any on film though. Looking back next time we will. There's some stories to tell, but I'll leave that for part 2.
The flow of water was slow moving. Well, I say slow, actually it felt quite fast. I later looked up and saw that it was only 2 miles per hour, but for me that was fast.
Oh.
Amazing memories. Really looking forward to showing you guys the next film and for you to see us paddle through 2 countries, 2 tunnels and 2 aqueducts.
I really enjoyed this paddle. It was great to do a longer trip this time, through such diverse landscapes, and made us question if we'd ever find another paddle quite like it. So that's saying something. I was looking forward to a nice big hot meal at the end of this journey. If you ask me if I'd go back, the answer is yes. I'd love to paddle this route again, maybe even go a bit further. One day I'd like to have a go on the River Dee that runs parallel to this canal.
Want to follow on to the side then?